We're talking now about the Gulf Coast Community Foundation, and when you hear the word foundation, traditionally you might think of charitable giving, but the Gulf Coast Community Foundation is playing a major role in economic development. Not quite so typical for the ones you would think about. Joining me today is Teri Hansen. She is President and CEO of the Gulf Coast Community Foundation. Teri, welcome.
Thank
Good
you.
to have you here.
Thank you.
And you are the largest community foundation in Florida?
We are.
That's quite a distinction.
Thank you.
So tell me what the foundation does.
Well, our mission is to transform our region through bold and proactive philanthropy. So we do that through a myriad ways, but what we do is look at what the needs are in the community. So when the Great Recession hit, immediately it was just to provide stopgap funding.
Funding for
nonprofit organizations that help the folks who were unemployed, who needed things, the arts organizations that don't receive government funding. Funding was drying up because people were holding on to their philanthropic dollars. So we reacted to that. And then as we started to tail out of this recession, we've been focusing on workforce development and economic diversification. So that's been an important piece of what we do because that's what our community needs.
So I don't know how recent this figure is, but $124 million in grants invested in the community that you have been able to provide.
Right.
Is that fairly recent?
So that's been since we started grant making in 1996.
Okay.
We were born in 1995 with the sale of a hospital. We're created as a community foundation. So now the funds from the hospital are just one component, about a third of our annual grant making.
So the grants go to things like Big Brothers Big Sisters, Boys and Girls Club. Sort of give me a sense of what gets some of this money.
Arts and culture, health and human services, education, civic affairs, and the environment. So anything to do with making a strong community, a place people want to live and want to engage with each other.
And so the hospital was some of the initial funding. How do you raise the rest? What's your method?
Well, we have an amazing community of generous people, and we are a rich community because those people are so generous. People think that people are generous because they're rich. Well, as Claire Gaudiani said, no, people are rich because they're generous, and that's the truth about our community. Yeah, it's an amazing community. It has great natural resources where people want to live there. The beach, you can live on the beach, you could live in a city, you could live in a small town, you could live out on a ranch, all in the same community. And so it has those great natural resources, but then because people are so generous, it makes it even better. So you ask how we engage those people. Why do they want to give? They want to give because of the things that Gulf Coast is doing. Once I got a donor from Siesta Key who called and said, I really like what you're doing. Can I help somehow? And so
that's the call you want to get
every
time.
We engage our donors in the work we're doing. And right now we're focusing on economic diversification and strengthening our workforce because that's what our region needs more than anything.
Yeah, so I mean, you say you're really not a typical community foundation in that you support the economic development of the region. So when you say workforce development, is this the career edge you're talking about? Or tell me what you were referring to and then we'll go to that.
So we're not typical in that we really work to leverage the resources of our donors, national funders, to focus on the things that are going on in our community. And then we try to transform the issues. And so we bring flexible funding in and then create unique partnerships. In any community, you've got the private sector, which are corporations, the public sector, which is the government, then we're the independent sector.
Got it.
So we can bring them all together to focus on an issue and bring the resources together.
Okay, so how are you bringing the resources together to match the skills of the people who live in the area with the businesses and what they want? Isn't that part of your mission as well?
Right, so Career Edge was one of those things. We were contacted by the Knight Foundation down in Miami who wanted to work on workforce issues in our region. So we pulled together local funders and national funders, in addition to Knight, to figure out what best works in our region. So in the Great Recession, we found out that there were jobs, good, high-paying, mid-level jobs that were vacant.
Really?
Everybody said, oh, that's all this unemployment, there aren't any jobs. There were jobs, were sitting empty, vacant, but there weren't the workers with the training to be in those positions.
They didn't exist, or they didn't know that these jobs were available?
They didn't exist with the kind of training that so let's take a nursing home.
Okay.
And you've got a woman who's been a great employee. She comes to work on time every day, ready to work, positive mental attitude, and she's at the low level, the entry level position. And in that same nursing home, they have some technology that they're implementing in to basically take an iPad and have the technician put the information in and have it go to the hospital, so that the hospital's connected up with the patient's
But
nursing
she doesn't know how to use this
She doesn't know how to use it.
Okay, got it.
So our Career Edge, what it does is train people already employed in that organization to move up into the better paying jobs.
What a great idea.
And then the entry level positions are open for people to come in without the training. So it's all about moving people up the economic ladder and giving them the training and giving the employers the employees they need.
I love the fact that you have taken, everybody in this political climate is all about jobs, job creation, job creation. Right. Governor Scott has said job creation. Everybody is saying it. And as a community foundation, to take this on as one of your missions is really kind of interesting. And that I don't know if is typical. That seems a little outside the norm of what you'd expect.
Community foundations can be at either end of a spectrum, more like us where you're into transforming your region, or very donor focused. All community foundations go back and forth that spectrum a little bit, but they typically have their mission weighted in one or the other. We're all about the community, and because we're all about our community and transforming our region, donors want to participate.
Now, you mentioned arts and culture, you mentioned health care. What in arts and culture do you help fund or promote?
About 2 years ago, we did what we call an environmental scan to find out where we can best help the community in each of the areas. In arts and culture, it was about connecting the arts organizations with each other so that we can leverage the resources they have to better serve the community. So we do that for everything from helping them get students in to see their performances, to helping them with their ticketing systems, grant making, and a lot. But when it comes to our staff time, it's about convening the organizations and saying, how do we best leverage what we have to exponentially help the community through the arts, because the arts are so important to a strong
and huge
community.
in Sarasota.
Oh, huge, yeah.
What about healthcare? What do you get involved in there?
Anything to do with healthcare. Back 8 years ago, we started an initiative that looked at the health data for each community that we serve, and got the citizens together to look at the data and figure out what they need to do in their community, to today working with the hospital systems, the healthcare systems, to make sure that they're all connected so that nobody falls through the cracks. We really have all the resources we need in the community, but we don't have the system to connect them all together. Right. And right now we're working with the food bank to do research on where the food needs are, where the distribution system is, and how we make that work together.
Very important. Teri, what tugs at your heartstrings?
Personally, right now, is that child who potentially is homeless, their parents are stressed to the max because they don't have work. They can't give their children the kind of life they want to give them. They wait every day for the phone to call, or phone to ring. That has got to be a terrible feeling, to just really want to get out and work and be productive and show your children that you can make it and what you want to be. want them to be as they grow up.
That's what you do it for.
That's exactly what we do it for.
You know, I was interested when I was looking through your materials online. It seems that you pride yourself on being an organization that thinks outside the box and is creative. I was particularly interested in this affiliation with Ringling for bringing the business leaders in for a creative. Tell me about that.
Right, so Ringling College of Art and Design is one of the top 3 art and design institutions in the country. And so we worked with them and helped fund the startup of a creativity and innovation center to leverage our economic diversification. And Tervis Tumbler, which you'll see on the video in a minute, went in and took their team in and worked in this creativity and design center, and it has completely transformed how they do their work, how they think about their work, and the growth of their company is just shooting through the roof.
And did they go in and paint or sculpt, or what did they do?
A little of everything.
A little of everything?
You take off that adult hat, put your kid hat on for a few minutes, and remember what it feels like to be creative and not concerned what people think about your ideas, and then work together as teams to integrate that into your workplace.
Wow, that's really interesting.
It's very interesting and exciting.
So you seem to take puzzles and put them together and find the pieces that work. I mean, involving a company that manufactures glassware with a school of design, and take a corporate team in there and say, let's do some blue sky brainstorming here and see if we can find a better way of doing things.
It's all about relationships, and so we have good relationships with the organizations in our community. And talking to Larry Thompson, who's the president of Ringling College of Art and Design, and his idea for this, I said, let's put you together with my board and see what we can come up with. And through that relationship and that synergy, we leveraged our 2 resources together to create this. It's a great creative job.
Very creative. I mean, I envy your position. You have a good time.
I do.
You know, everybody today, the buzzword in the state of Florida, probably everywhere, is STEM.
Yes.
So tell us what STEM is and how you got involved in that.
Science, technology, engineering, and math. We always fund education, but we want to do it in a systemic way, and that really affects how teachers teach and how students learn. In this case, we wanted to transform how teachers teach science and math. So we created the STEM Smart initiative, and if you go to stemsmart.org, you'll see a great deal of resources and what the initiative looks like. But it is, the greatest thing is you've got that 8th grader who otherwise thought, oh, math, oh, science.
Right, oh, Shakespeare.
I'm not good at it, I don't like it. Wake up and realize that the world is science and math, and take real world problems into the classroom and give them the tools to figure out what it's all about, and they get excited and connected with their own world, which in 8th grade is a great thing. So it's in middle school and in high schools, and we have STEM Smart classrooms, which the students are working together in the classrooms in little pods with a big computer screen and a probe. So we want to know, how much acid's in your coffee. We can stick the probe in. The students see it up on the monitor, figure out the calculations to do it. They go to their math class. We provided that in the classrooms. And the teachers, how to teach it. The teachers are so amazing. They are so charged up about the ways they can now teach science. Then we go to the math class, and you get a little handheld, and someone's taken a picture of the Ringling Bridge, and the teacher hasn't loaded it up in there, and you're figuring out the weight load of it and the angles in a way that makes sense to them,
because they
see it every day.
It's the real world. How much does that bridge weigh? How long is it? You're doing math right there.
Instead of how we learned, where you're going through the little workbooks and the paper, and it's boring and means nothing.
Maybe that's why I can't balance my checkbook,
Amen.
Even online
That's what
anymore.
husbands are for. That's what husbands are for.
Listen, I want you to know, I know you're very proud of our community. We sent our reporter, Alana Tesher, down to Sarasota. I want to give you a little taste of what it's like to work and play there. If we can cue up that video, might be fun to watch.
Just south of Tampa is Sarasota, home to businesses, entertainment venues, and of course, beautiful beaches. Beaches are ranked on a scale that features 50 different criteria, from scenery to wave size, even watercolor. And Siesta Key in Sarasota always makes the list. It was just voted #1 as the most beautiful beach in America, not surprisingly because of its famous white sand. If you're looking for entertainment, Sarasota's got that covered too, with improv groups, art museums, a thriving performing arts district, and live music nightly. It's easy to see why dozens of art festivals pick Sarasota as their host city each year. This is the Sarasota Ballet, the Gulf of Florida's first and only professional ballet company. Let's go check out one of the classes. Basically, just kind of follow along. Mostly you jump from ballet. Okay. The Sarasota Ballet is not the only thriving art venue in this area. The Sarasota Opera House recently underwent a $20 million renovation to restore the historic beauty of this 1920s theater. I get really dizzy from all the spinning. This is hard. It's harder than it looks.
Come on.
I'm gonna fall on my head.
That's what you
My right leg goes on top.
Yeah.
So it's like crisscross applesauce.
Yeah. Anyway.
Did I do it? Thank you. You didn't drop me. Tutus. Those dancers are amazing. They make ballet look so much easier than it is. Trust me, I am not a ballerina. And if it's business you're looking for, Sarasota's got that too. We're here in Venice, Florida at Tervis, where they make Tervis drinkware. They have over thousands of customized designs, accessories, and emblems. Let's go check it out. For all kinds of businesses, Sarasota is one of the most popular meeting destinations in the world. So when business leaders need a diverse selection of venues to gather their top executives, they turn to Sarasota. They told me to find the Florida emblem. There's 45,000 in here. I found a panda. This is kind of cute. Not Florida. Oh my gosh, here it is. I passed this like 80 times. Here's the Florida emblem. I did this.
That's it.
I just made my very own mug at Tervis. It was so much fun. Now let's head to the Tervis store and do some shopping. Hello Kitty. Sesame Street. My school. Who knows? My favorite flower. I want everything. As you can see, there's more to Sarasota than just beaches, but doesn't mean they're not great. That's a wrap.
And we already know, you told us that thanks to the Gulf Coast Community Foundation, the Tervis people went over to Ringling and got all these great new fun ideas.
That's right.
And you played a part in that. It's pretty cool.
Yes, it's a great company.
So, you know, I just have to say, people watching or visiting the RNC this week, I mean, why Sarasota? Why is it such a great place to do what you're doing there?
It has everything. It has amazing people, has amazing natural resources, great schools, good jobs, people who care about quality of life in their community. And we created in the past year 2 ways for people to connect. So if you're a company and you want your employees to get involved in the community, or you're a new resident and want to get involved in the community, you can go onto you'dbeperfectforthis.org.
You'dbeperfectforthis.org. Love that.
It
Great
is
title.
a match.com for volunteers.
Really?
In the region. It is a beautiful site.
Great
Whether
idea.
you want to do it for a day, you know, count turtle eggs on the beach, or drive what I want to do next time they have a regatta, I want to drive on little golf carts for the day. Or if you want to do something long-term, Meals on Wheels, something that takes you every Wednesday afternoon, whatever works for you, it is on that website. And the reason it's called you'dbeperfectforthis.org is so you see something you think I would like, will you email it to me? And you'd be perfect for this. And you connect people together that way. The other site is through Gulf Coast Gives. It's an online marketplace for nonprofits to put up their needs so that people can connect with the needs in the community. You can go on with $1, $5, $250, and contribute to the issue that's on there, and watch your neighbors contribute to it. It's gulfcoastgives.org, and you'd be perfect for this.org.
Fabulous. Thank you,
you.
Teri.
Thank
Good to
you.
have you here.
Thank
Gulf
you.
Coast Community Foundation. And we always want to remember that even though we call this Tampa Bay a lot, Sarasota is indeed a huge part of our community, and it's a wonderful place.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Teri.
Thank you.
All right, coming up next, a prestigious new affiliation for All Children's Hospital.